Welcome back to Truly Force-Free Animal Training. Today I would like to talk to you a little bit about exposing your dog or your animals, but primarily dogs, to the various weather that we have in the country and around the world. So you may live in a place where it snows and you get snowed in. You may live in a place where it rains for days, weeks, or months. You also may live in a place that at times can be over 100 degrees at any one point. Because we all live in such different environments, this is going to be a little bit general. But the main idea is to make sure you always keep your animals safe, as well as get them comfortable with the different types of weather. So if we start with snow and rain, you might want to make sure that if you live in an area where it snows or rains, that your dog is comfortable being out in that kind of weather, at least unless it's extreme, because you want them to still be able to go out to go to the bathroom, maybe go on walks. So if you have a puppy and it's raining, it's a really good idea to get them out in the rain and get them used to it, or the snow, so that they don't want to stay in the house and not go outside to go to the bathroom. And I have had dogs that I've worked with. I live in Southern California, so it doesn't rain a lot. And sometimes there are dogs that will literally not urinate or defecate for days because they don't want to go outside. And then sometimes they choose to have an accident in the house because they don't want to go outside. So if we can make this more fun for them, maybe they won't be so afraid to go out just to eliminate. So things you could do is throw the ball in the rain. Yes, you're going to get wet or you're going to have snow on you, but do something fun with your dog so that they're not so afraid. See if you can motivate them. Get them to go out on light rainy days or lightly snowing days so that it's not the extreme blizzard or rainstorm that they're having to get used to being out in this kind of weather. So those are things that you might need to do to prepare them. Another situation is thunder and lightning. That can be extremely frightening for many dogs and many animals. In some cases, it's going to be best that you talk to your veterinarian about getting them some sort of anti-anxiety medication, maybe with or without a sedative as well. You don't want to get just a sedative, because if they're sedate, so their body is really relaxed and they can't move, but their brain is still active, they can become even more afraid if they hear thunder and are too tired or sedated to hide and get away from the sound. So those are on extreme cases when you would want to have the dogs get on medication. If it's a little bit milder situation, then just getting them exposed to the sound. Sometimes you can even expose them to like a CD that sounds like thunder, just to get them used to it. In some cases, it's best just to find a little place where they can go hide, maybe a bathroom with no windows, maybe play some music, just to try to keep them safe, because dogs and animals react all differently to thunder. Some don't care at all. Others will go through windows if they're too scared. So it's best that you get to know what your animal needs and then really look at finding solutions to make them more comfortable in those situations. The other extreme weather that we experience more here in Southern California is more excess heat. And when it's hot outside, that's not the time to take your dog in the car or take them on walks to street fairs, because it's just too hot for them. If you leave a dog in a car and it's over 80 degrees, that car can get so hot so quickly that your dog could die from hyperthermia. So that would be that they get too hot. It's devastating when someone takes their pet with them for a fun outing and then they come back to the car and they have died or they're very, very sick from the heat. Another thing to consider, and I see people do this all the time, they're walking their dogs on asphalt or blacktop where it's very, very hot. And the dogs are really because they're not wearing shoes, their pads just keep getting hot and they just kind of do a little dance because their feet hurt so much. If you can't walk on the ground barefoot, then your dogs really shouldn't be either. So those are all some things just to consider with your weather. Now, I realize that there's tons of other kinds of weather out there, but I'm hoping that these examples will help you think about how does your animal or your dog perceive the whatever is happening with the weather? Are they okay with it, or are they afraid? And also, is it safe for your animal to be in the extreme weather? So I discussed the heat, but you have the same things with excessive cold. If it is a snow blizzard, then your animals need to come into shelter where they can be a little bit more protected. As we go along, the weather keeps changing, but we need to make sure we keep our animals as safe as we can, mentally and physically. So I hope that helps in all the extreme weather that we see here on our world and our earth, and I hope to see you next time.